Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, and today we're getting into the Damasko DSub2, a new release from Damasko. Damasko, as you know, is a new company for me. I've been carrying them for a few months now, and this was actually in the initial order that I gave them, and I finally just got a couple of pieces now. They are very low serial numbers because they indeed just came out. So let's get into the details of the watch. It is 43 millimeter diameter case, and I'm going to flip it over and show you that the bezel sticks out just a little bit. So it's a 43 millimeter case. It is 44, they say 44.2, who's counting, 44.2 millimeter diameter on the bezel, 12.6 millimeters thick. It is 51 millimeters on the tip to tip, and it takes a 22 millimeter strap. That's a 22 millimeter lug width. It is a solid screw-down case back owing to the 300 meters of water resistance. We also have a screw-down crown. To set the time, you have to unscrew the crown, pull it out. The second hand stops because inside beats an ETA 2824 movement. It's a 25 joule Swiss automatic movement. It's a very common movement used in many watches. You've seen me talk about it many times in the past. It hand winds, hacks, means when you go to set the time, the second hand stops. It has about a 40-hour power reserve, so on a full wind, it'll run for about a day and a half before you need to wear it again or wind it again. You will see the crystal is slightly domed. It is, I believe it's a single dome. Very slight sapphire anti-reflective coating on the front, on the top and underside of it. The way Damasko does it, they do it in such a way that it does not peel off the exterior, or at least it's very difficult to peel it off. And you'll see it really just kills all the reflections. I need to basically just shine a light directly on it like that to get a reflection to pop. But you'll see the crystal more or less disappears. Let's see, I talked about the 300 meters water resistance. Let's talk about, Damasko itself and what have they done here. Well, it's the DSub, it's submarine steel. The watch is basically composed of, instead of 316L, which you normally hear people talk about, it's composed of submarine steel, which has very high strength. It's anti-magnetic. It's extremely corrosion resistant because it's used to dealing with seawater. And because submarines expand and contract with pressurization, it's a very ductile steel, which means it resists cracking from fatigue and all that good stuff, but basically just means it's an extremely high quality steel and it will last for years. Damasko then goes ahead and hardens the steel, so hopefully you won't pick up any scratches on it and it will stay looking like new forever. Additionally, the bezel insert here is hardened again with their Damask coating, which, again, like the rest of the watch, makes it extremely resistant to damage and scratches. There's a relief here, and when I zoom in, we'll check that out. The bezel itself is on a ceramic ball bearing system, so it's not 120 click, it's 60 click, but wow, it's like someone's releasing a lock and allowing you to spin it. It chunks into, you can hear it. It chunks into position so well. I mean, they do an amazing job. One of the many things that Damasko does to make the watch, a little more special, there's a lot of engineering that goes in the watch. The crown sealing system, the materials they use, nothing is exactly that ordinary. Obviously, we're looking at a beautiful blue dial. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, with the orange accents for the ever important minute hand. 0 to 15 on the bezel is done in a different color as well, and then the rest of the numbers are white, this being the more important part of the timing track. The watch comes on a nice, smooth rubber strap, and a la Zinn style and other high-quality rubber straps, it's got pins in it, and you'd slice the strap at the different score marks, and the pin then interfaces with the clasp. Can see that. And that kind of brings me to the one thing about the watch that really upsets me at the sticker price. $1,664, give or take a dollar, is what the price is. But the clasp is just, it reminds me of a clasp that comes on a $10 or $20 rubber strap that we sell. Of course, it's signed with the Damasko logo, but I do not think it's got any of the coatings on it. Obviously, I'm not going to scratch it up to test it, but it certainly doesn't feel like it. It's stamped, it's folded, It's flimsy, for lack of a better term. Not exactly the highest quality clasp that you'd put on a watch that's north of $1,600. But that's about the only thing I can find with the watch that I'm not happy about. The blue is beautiful. Let's zoom in a little bit more on the dial. So there we are, zoomed in on the dial. And I apologize if you hear some background noise. We actually just lost power, and the standby generator just clicked on, so there's a little bit of a hum in the background, but I want to continue filming. So blue dial, but look, can you see what they did with the date ring? Do you see anything abnormal or something that you normally don't see on a watch? The background is actually blue. Whoops, I want to change the date to show you so you can probably get a better feel for it. There it goes. Look at that. The background is blue. It's white numbers on a blue background. If that's not attention to detail, I'm not sure what is. So let's just check out the dial. It's beautiful. C1 Super Luminova. We'll do a Lume shot in a second, and there's a luminous pip as well on the bezel. I just want to give you a little bit of a close-up here. Let's look at the case, the signed crown, the case back. Again, all that writing. Of course, it's made in Germany, 300 meters water resistant, talks about the coatings. And look at the knurling. That's not knurling, is it? I don't know what you call it. The detail on the bezel to grip it and turn it. Even with my gloves, you saw me before. You easily grab it. I'm surprised it's not ripping up the gloves. It's extremely solid. Let's see if I can get a little bit more on the bezel. You can see it's a relief. Yeah, you can see. Look at the 15. It's set down just a bit. So let's zoom out a bit and check out the Lume. So there you go. It glows extremely well. You'll see that at the 12, it's orange Lume. The markers are green. The hands are green, and then you have a dot on the bezel. Glows extremely well. The bezel markings are not glowing. At least I don't think they are. I think that's really just a function of the ambient light that's right behind me. It's kind of picking them up and reflecting it. But the Lume is on the hands, the markers, the dot, and the 12 o'clock registration point. Here's how she looks on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. Like I said, I wear a 007, 009 watches that easily, are kind of close to the lug-to-lug that this one is. I would wear it. It looks great. The blue is beautiful. The bezel is beautiful. The use of blue, white, orange, and black. I don't know, for some reason, those colors all just work really, really well together. When I got the watch, and Damaskos in general, it's funny. They're, ready for this one? Lifeless and interesting. They really are, because it kills all light, it kills all reflection, so you think it's got no life to it. And then when you pick it up and you hold it and you turn it around, it's gorgeous, it's simple. Everything they do is just perfect. It's extremely stealthy watch, very under the radar indeed, because a lot of the work and the price is going into all the technology, not into the adornment. This has been Mark from LongIslandWatch.com showing you the Damasko DSub2. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. And if you have any questions or comments, please put them down below, and I will be sure to address them as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.